let's install PyTorch in CPU and GPU and we start working on the practical. VS Code is the best platform to work PyTorch. So let's start. The first thing, I'll create a right click. Let me right click and new file, and I mention, as I already done, PyTorch using GenAI. All right, okay, GenAI project dot ipynb. Let's create this. We created. All right, so let's test the code, and I can say welcome to, and I got this. Fantastic. All right, so we tested, it's working fine, and let me Control S for save. You can do this. So the first way, this is CPU, because if I right click and task manager and how to check you work with CPU or not, you go back to this one, and I'm using my CPU version. So this is CPU, and you also purchase your GPU. So but before that, the first thing, I'll create a one moment, markdown. Okay, oh, I didn't create more markdown. Let's create this. Let's delete. Let's del. I can say welcome to NareshIT. NareshI technology. All right, fantastic. So in this markdown, I create PyTorch installations in CPU. All right, so try this, and I create a code here and try this. So let's try. I think it's already installed in my machine, so it's already satisfied. Port torch tab and execute. Let's check this. Okay, that's fine. And you need to see the torch version, torch dot 2 version, shift enter. Do you see this, guys? We are using, torch versions 2.2.0, 2.2.1 plus CUDA 118. So the first thing, what we need to check, so I need to also check like this, import torch we already done, and I need to check whether the CUDA is available or not. I will check this. So do you have CUDA.is available in my system? Because I said CUDA is GPU, right? So it's not a CPU. If my system is GPU, then I'll get output as true. If it is CPU, I get output as false. So I hope I got false. That means my CPU, my system is CPU, so that's why we got false. I hope understand clearly. We discuss same concepts. We knew how to install this one, and once we install, you no need to be install again, so just execute. That's okay. So very simple. You can use this code, pip install torch and import torch. You check the versions, which versions, and as we working with. But when you work same code using GPU, you get this output as true. Google, and you try Google Colab, and welcome to Colab repositories. I just click here. Let me create a new notebook, and once we create a new notebook, wait for some time. Okay, so once we done, the first thing, you go to runtime and change runtime type to GPU, because my system is CPU, and let's see the GPU. In the GPU, I can click this file and go to, I want to mount drive. So here, okay, let me click this, and it's asking for a permissions to mount the drive, and let's mounting. Once the drive is mounted, you will get my own drive here, and this is what, okay, it's done. Now we connect to the drive. Now let me close, and I'll change the name to PyTorch to PyTorch for GenAI. You try this, and welcome to NareshIT. Let's execute. We done this now. Okay, So if you notice, this is what RAM associate with it, and let's click. This is all RAM configurations we have, system RAM and GPU RAM, all these things is given here. And let me close resources. We'll try work now. So you also install the similar process, pip install torch, and you execute this one as it is already installed in so that's why drivers requirement satisfied, but still we just wait for some time as it is downloading. Okay, we just give them some time to complete the steps, and after that we're going to work with practical. And I want to see the comparison between both, but anyway, future projects we work in Google Colab. But today when we learn with Torch, let's understand in CPU first, then we get back to the next one. Just wait, it's loading. It takes some more time. NVIDIA is a graphics card, and also in the meantime I create more code cells, okay, to work the project. Let's do this. It's not done yet, because once it's successfully completed you get a tick mark, or you can go and you can try along with yourself today after this one, and we try to learn some of the Torch program today, and let's see. Okay, it's worked fine. It's already done successfully. So what I do, I don't need to do again another time, so I'll exclamatory and execute. I commented, that's fine. Now next. So as I said, you can import Torch. Here I will try this torch dot. I need to wait for some times to get the helper. So torch dot version. Okay, CU 1-to-1 CPU available in here, and let's execute. I got output as true. That means CPU. So Torch is very good with the GPU. In my CPU, the CUDA is not available, the GPU is not available. I create one identifier and I try to set torch dot rand, and I'm saying 5 comma okay 1 comma 2. That means, so let's shift enter, and when I call X, you get it's create a random number of the value, I mean of 1 row and 2 column, isn't it? Now let's do the same things here, and let me copy, and I said x1 equal to, let's type x1 equal to, I say 2 rows and 3 columns. Let's execute. So 2 rows and 3 columns. But when I call the same times, I get this torch will generate the random numbers. Do you notice this? The numbers are getting changed. The numbers are getting changed. So scalar is 1, vector 1, 2, 3. This is 0D tensor. This is 1D tensor. This is 2D tensor. Lines, you go to Google and type PyTorch. Okay, PyTorch installations. Let's click start locally. Open link this tab and little scroll down. And if your system is GPU, I want you to copy and try to install in here. New check start locally and little scroll down, and for okay CUDA support do we have? Let's try for a developer now. Just 1 second. All right, installations we done. No CUDA, with CUDA, all those things. See, import torch. So the first code we done, torch.rand. So you copy one and execute. It's saying import torch, create a random number of 5 rows and 3 columns. Let's execute, isn't it? So 5 rows and 3 columns. That's great. So torch.zeros, and let's execute. How much zero we got? 3 zeros with float data type by default is, because when you little check this on, size equal to int d type equal to, you have to assign some set in d type. So you can try this one as well, torch dot zeros, and I want to enter 303 column, and I just try this, and how much what output we get, guys? Here we got 3 zeros and 3 columns, isn't it? Let's go to code. All right, so here, and I can say if I want this data type dots dot zeros. All right, I click this, and after that we can use, let's say I want 2 rows and 4 column, and I want 2 rows and 4 column, and I need d type, as I said, d type equal to dots dot int of, let's see, int 32. Okay, let's try this now. And okay, I hope the value we got float before, but I want to change this float data type to integer. List equals to, let me create a few list 1 comma 2 comma 3, and when I call list, and this is 1 2 3, these are list data structures, and you can say print type of list. This is list data structure, I mean list data structures. All right, so the next one, what you do, import. Okay, and before that I want to call a numpy as well, np.array, and I want to call, let's say, okay, 1 comma 2 comma 3 4 comma 5. So I want to create an array of these numbers, and okay, np is not defined, so import numpy as np and execute. So this is a array. So I hope understand what's the difference between list and array. Now next I try to create a tensor as well. So I think x tensor te, or I can create, because the best way to assign identifier is based on the context you have to define. So let's say te equal to dots dot tensor. And what is tensor, guys? It'll give you an array, multi-dimensions array for data type, data structures, all those things. So I can make 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4. As we mentioned, the best way I can say like us, okay, 6 7 8 no 10 and 20 30 and 40, and let's call te. Okay, so this is list, this is list data type, and this is list data structures, and we have an array and we have tensor. So today I hope you understood how to create a tensor array. We learned this.